Hello and welcome back to the CFCTALK podcast. Great game against Rennes in the Champions League. Qualification confirmed. Nervous times, of course, and last minute goal. But next task, we've got Tottenham. And before we get into Chelsea's discussion, I want to start off by saying the day we're recording this, we've just heard news about Diego Maradona and him passing away. A legend of the game, someone who has transformed football, one of the best players to ever step foot on a football pitch, and of course, unfortunately, I wasn't ever able to watch him play live, but I've seen his montages, I've seen his clips and his goals. They all just look like he is one of the greatest footballers to ever play football, I would say. Guys, any comment on that before we begin?
I think all I say is he an inspiration as a footballer. I think any football player and any football fan will look to him and think just the things he could do with the football. Yeah, he's immortalized, I think, and he'll never be forgotten. I don't think. And yeah, some people they're never really truly gone. And yeah, he's made his mark on the football world.
Okay, so guys, it's been a tough year for everyone, but luckily Chelsea they've still been playing, they're still winning games. Premier League is still on, and football is kind of a getaway from whatever's happening in our lives. And tonight we're joined by Jam. If you can remember, if you track all the way back to our September episodes, was it right before the season started? I think it was the Brighton preview where we got Jam. So he is our first reoccurring guest, and I have to thank him for accepting this invitation last minute, Jam. I just it was we were all ready to record, and I just said, let me just hit up Jam and see if he can just come on, because we know how special Tottenham's games are, and how everyone wants to talk about Tottenham. So welcome to the podcast again, Jam. Great to have you on.
No, thanks a lot, man. Yeah, I'm always happy to come on. So it's no bother. I wasn't doing anything other than watching Inter Milan, Real Madrid. um, but no, Tottenham Hotspurs. My gosh, I hate these guys. I absolutely hate these guys. But I'll let you take us into it. Go on, mate.
Yeah, I think I think we're gonna end up having this is probably gonna be one of our longer episodes, but I don't
Mhm.
mind it as long as we're talking about Tottenham. But yeah, before we get into the Tottenham talks, Jam, just a bit of a word on our performance on Tuesday night against Rennes. Um, what did you think of it? How would you rate it?
Yeah. Well, it's certainly not one of our best performances of the season. However, it was efficient. Now, what I mean by that is we made a few changes. It was a tough game. Rennes were playing to survive in the Champions League. You can see that added sort of impetus from them. They had something to play for. We just had to get a result, and it wasn't our biggest game of the week by any means. Obviously, we've got Spurs on Sunday, so one of the SW6 Daily video content creators, Kirill, actually said it was like Chelsea were playing in energy saving mode, and that is the best way of describing it. We got the job done. We had a good mix of players. Players that have been doing well in the last few weeks, mixed in with players that had something to prove. You like the likes of Cho. Um, who else came in? You had obviously Cho, Kovacic, Jorginho coming in. These guys had something to prove, and I think you could see a good
Aspi
performance
as well.
from obviously Aspi as well. That was the other one. And yeah, we got the job done in the end. It was never going to be an easy game, even if we went out with our strongest team. So I always say good teams have a habit of winning even when they don't play well and can score last minute goals. So that's a good sign, I think, when you look at it like that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people on Twitter, we usually when we win these type of games, you still see quite a lot of backlash on Twitter where fans go after the manager, the players, and how this should have been an easy game. But looking back at it, we had players who hadn't been playing in a while, who haven't had a lot of game time, and we rotate our team. We rotated our team, resting some players, making sure they're ready for the big game against Spurs as well. So I think, Alex, what would you say? How would you rate our performance against Rennie? I think Alex, you're on mute.
Oh man, I feel like the Chelsea interviewers now on the press conference who you always forget. I can't complain about them anymore because I just did the exactly same thing. Yeah, I completely agree with what Jam said. It was an efficient performance. It was not it wasn't pretty to watch. I thought they like having we all know we're all as Chelsea fans we're so familiar with having a one goal lead and losing it at the start of the season. So it it definitely got was nervy, and I honestly thought that the equaliser was coming for Rennes. So and to have Giroud bail us out was beautiful. And as well, last thing before on the game is I'm pretty hot. I think I'm not a Mount hater, but I'm definitely a Mount skeptic or a Mount critic. But and I've been crying out for him to put in a great performance in the Champions League, and that and I've got to say now I'm finally sold. I'm fully I've transitioned into the majority of Mount uh, support or not. Well, that's not the right way to say it, but basically, yeah.
You're
I've
on
passed
board. You're on board.
yeah, I'm on board now. I'm on board. I'm not. I'm no longer a Mount skeptic. Yeah, I've been I've been really hoping that he would put in a good Champions League or a great Champions League performance in for a while, and it was really good to see. I loved his assist and Cho took his goal well, so that was really really satisfying. I thought from his point of view. But yeah, it was pretty. Sorry, it wasn't pretty, but now it's the real one. It's the big one. I don't think I've ever heard. I don't think there's been a Chelsea versus Tottenham game with this much like at stake or on the line or a point to prove since the Battle of the Bridge in 1516. So yeah, this is.
It's
I can't
it's
wait.
it's top of the table clash.
It is. I honestly cannot wait to get into this because yeah, I am. Yeah, so
I think
so
I
excited.
can feel the eagerness that everyone has talking about Tottenham. So I'm going to keep this Ren review very short. And Amart, how good does it feel knowing we're one of the first teams to qualify for the round of 16? Hopefully, looking forward to topping the group when we win against Sevilla next week, or even if we draw. Um, how good does it feel?
Oh, it definitely feels great, but we were just the first team by a couple of milliseconds because the Sevilla game just ended right after our own ended. But I think the focus now has to be with us, like focus has to be on finishing first, so we will not get a difficult matchup in the round 16 game. We played very well. We didn't play to our best against Ren, but like I think I like how Jam put it. We were on energy saving mode. We didn't want to waste any time, and luckily for us, we have I think about 4 days before the Tottenham game. So somebody like Werner, I think he needs a lot of rest because he's played 3 games consecutively. He played for Germany, he's played for us 2 times, and it was in a span of just about 3 or 4 days. So I think he needs a lot of rest because I know definitely he will start against Tottenham, and he missed a couple of chances. You could see he's not all that fresh. So these 4 days might actually be a benefit to us. So I'm looking forward to seeing the team that we'll draw with in the round 16. It's still early days now, but I think we'll finish on top of the group and get something good.
Yeah, hopefully we do. It's very important that we continue the form that we've got, even though we conceded a goal against Rennes, which was kind of expected, because we saw that even when they came to the bridge, and even after that red card, they still kept attacking and still trying to get that goal because they were fighting for it, and they did. They got the goal back, but luckily Olivier Giroud comes to the rescue. Um, there's rumors about him leaving in January, which are starting to appear now. And as we get closer to the January transfer window, there will be a lot to talk about, but we won't do that right now. I think we can successfully say um, that's all from the Rennes preview. Let's move on to Tottenham. Let's have uh, let's just have a full podcast for Tottenham. Jam 5 days, 4 days break for the Blues, and then Tottenham. How important is this win we talk about the rivalry that firstly Chelsea and Tottenham have, and then Mourinho and Chelsea. A lot of the fans on Twitter, they were saying they wouldn't mind Mourinho winning a title, even though it's Spurs. So how do you feel about that? What are your comments on that?
Can we have a laugh
Oh my
interlude?
gosh. Well, I mean, I
Okay, go on.
honestly, what on earth are they on about? There's a reason that the Chelsea and Arsenal fans
Yeah,
sing
we
that
all know.
song, and I'm only going to sing the first bit of it. What do you think of Tottenham? Everyone knows the rest, yeah? We all know. We all know. Now, let me just tell you something about this team. I don't know why they are the media darlings, but they have been
Yeah.
since, for the last
Yeah.
since Harry Kane got into the team, the media love Tottenham. Oh, they've got the best 1 to 11. Oh, Harry Kane. Oh, Heung-min Song. Oh, all of this. Eric Dyer, who's rubbish, by the way. He's just a fridge. Honestly, he gets. Let me not go deep into him anyway. But I just don't get it. I don't get why everyone likes Tottenham. That isn't another London-based team fan. Even West Ham fans hate them the most. Um, I, I just don't get it. So actually, to go back to what you said, so Jose, let's just get it right with Jose. Respect all his time at Chelsea. Absolutely loved him at Chelsea. The second coming, loved him as well. I mean, let's be frank. He went to Inter Milan and Real Madrid, did bits there, and came back to us, right? No problems with that. But then afterwards, he goes to Man United. I think first of all that is using Chelsea as toilet paper or trying to and then going to Tottenham. Come on, man. There's probably one move you don't do. You'd rather it's Arsenal. You'd rather it's West Ham. Honestly, Tottenham Hotspurs are probably our biggest rivals. They really are. And people can hate Arsenal more, and I understand that because obviously early 90s, early 2000s, we used to have some big games and they always used to beat us. They used to have it, won over us a lot. And I think Tottenham's record against Chelsea
just throwing a
is
bit of
they've won
spice
in
for
28
the
years, by the way, at the bridge. Just letting you know
the Arsenal game on Boxing Day.
This is it. This is it. Yeah, this is it. I mean, honestly, Tottenham Hotspurs, they cannot win this game. They will not win this game. They will not win the league. They will not win the league with Jose Mourinho. Jose will not win another Premier League. None of this can happen. That's how I approach Tottenham. I don't want to hear anyone else say I like the team and it would actually be all right if they won. No. Under no circumstances can they win a cup with Jose.
Matthew, who is our
That's
TikTok editor, I need you to clip this as soon as possible. This needs to go out tomorrow. No, it's always great to have you.
Oh man, yeah. Sorry, lads. I just when it comes to Tottenham, I get so passionate.
I think we could just all sit here all night just discussing Tottenham.
Yeah, and I'll tell you one more thing. Actually, sorry. Sorry, mate. One more thing. I'll tell you just how much I hate these guys. They lost to Antwerp when we were when was it? A few weeks back. I was in a pub before lockdown in the UK. I was in a pub and it was on in the background, and I was in tears laughing. That's how much I hate those guys. Europa League, and I'm still laughing.
That is.
Yeah, I mean,
the Europa League form is
it's always great to have that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the Europa League form confuses me. Like they'll either it seems like they either win 7-2 against everyone or they'll just lose. It makes no sense to me, and completely agree with Jam. It's just that Jose can't be allowed to win anything, especially the league under any club. And although he did get a couple of things for United, Europa League. We're on to bigger things now, aren't we? Anyway,
exactly.
Yeah, but it's can't be allowed to happen under no circumstances.
I think. Yeah, I agree with that. I think Amart's been kept silent for too long. I think Amart, What are your opinions on Tottenham, and how are you feeling about the game on Sunday?
No, it's not that I'm quiet. I'm just enjoying our collective hate for Tottenham, and I just, I just feel the same way. I think a couple of days ago I was talking to a friend. I told him that I hate Tottenham more than Arsenal, and they're like, "Why?" Because they feel like Arsenal is our greatest rival. But to be fair, we haven't really competed with Arsenal on any level apart from the FA Cup finals that we've been to. So they've not really been a threat. So I don't even see the need to hate them anymore. They've been in the Europa League in forever, so I don't think we even have any issues with them. But when it comes to Tottenham, we really we they've been worrying us a bit, quite a bit. Like when we go to their home, it's often a difficult game. They find it difficult at our home, which is the best. But at their home, we usually get um, a win. And the Battle of the Bridge, that game was just fantastic. I celebrated that game as if we've actually won the Premier League, and I just enjoyed that game. So I man, I seriously, I echo exactly what Jam said. I think I saw that tweet of people saying that they will prefer they hate Tottenham, but they would like to see Jose Mourinho win something. I think that came about from the Tottenham documentary. The Tottenham documentary made Jose so likable again. Like everybody started warming up to him. But you have to remember that one, he took the. I love Jose. I love Jose Mourinho a lot. I think a great of our success has to be attributed to him. But one, he took the Tottenham, the United game to spite us because because he was fired from Chelsea. He decided to go to our rivals United and just to annoy us. He came to the bridge and he had a little bit of an argument with our fans, and then after United, you're going to Tottenham. I'm not saying you shouldn't go to Tottenham. You definitely know, because he needs to work, but go to Tottenham and you expect us to still be happy for you when you win a trophy. When you win a trophy, you win and go, but it will still be in Tottenham, and we don't want that. We still want their trophy cabinet to still be filled with cobwebs. We still want cockroaches to move in there. We don't want anything. We don't want any issues when it comes to Tottenham winning a trophy. So I think I said it on the Discord server that I don't see Tottenham winning anything this season. If they'll win probably the Carling Cup or something, they can take that. I think they'll be happy with that. But the
Nope.
Premier League, no, they shouldn't win any. They shouldn't win nothing. Like they have to be honest, to be perfectly honest, they have a very very exciting team. They have a team that can actually challenge for the title. But Tottenham, they are buttless. So definitely this facade it will fade. It will fade, and I don't know. I don't think I've been. I, I hate Tottenham. I don't like Tottenham. That's it. I don't like.
In summary,
Oh, in summary, in
Amart
summary,
spent the last
in
last
summary,
two minutes trying to kindly
I
say
don't.
he hates
TLDR,
Tottenham, and then he
last
gave
I'm,
up
words.
and
I'm
just
trying.
said, "I hate Tottenham."
I just gave up. I just gave up because I don't. I don't see myself going on and talking,
Yeah.
saying something good about them. So yeah, I think that's it.
Literally, that was literally. Furthermore, I hate Tottenham.
Yeah,
Add to my arguments. Yeah, I think every Chelsea fan is like this. Is yeah, it'll never die. Whilst
I think.
They,
go on.
Sorry, go ahead.
I wanted to know
no, no, go for
actually
it.
one thing. What all three of you actually? What are your thoughts on so when I think at the bridge sometimes the fans or pretty much every game that when they play the liquidator they'll go we hate Tottenham when they clap.
yeah,
What are your thoughts on that? Do you actually
man.
do you like it or
I, I,
not?
I've not been to the bridge before, obviously, but I absolutely love it when they do that. I think I heard recently that they wanted to stop fans from doing that, but I think they should continue doing it. Probably they add a second version of "We Hate Arsenal" to that. That will also be good.
Oh man, love it.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm on that vibe. I like it, but I understand why people don't like it. So we sing it we sing it every home game, and it almost makes Tottenham more relevant than they are. You know, I mean, who are they? We just flick them off our shoulder, really, like noisy neighbours. Yeah, you know, shut up, basically. So maybe we should just sing it for the Tottenham games. You
Yeah.
know, but I do like it. But I think that would be the best way to go forward with it, to be honest.
Yeah, to make it more of a
Yeah,
special thing, I think is as opposed to doing it when we're playing Brentford in the League Cup or something, and we're just going, we hate Tottenham. Like, this
yeah,
doesn't make too much sense. But yeah, I agree. I don't understand why.
yeah. Probably that's their kryptonite because they had. I think Jam said they haven't won. They've only won once at the bridge in 28 games. So probably the song is doing something. The chant is doing something.
It's
It's doing
working.
something right. It's working. It's working.
I think. Okay, so let's try and get into the the match now. I think we can continue to slander Tottenham throughout the podcast and
We've had our
with their
backstory
team as well.
now.
I'm
um,
gonna love this episode.
their last win came, if I'm looking at it right now, came in 2018 April. So I would say that's almost 3 months from now, 3 years from now. So Jam, does this match also have some factor of we lost to them in the Carabao Cup, so we want to take revenge for that, or is this just purely like, no, you're not winning the league, we want to make a statement, and this is Frank's year?
Well, I think the way we're going to approach this is different now. Last time, I think that came in a bit of a funny old run for Chelsea when we had some players missing, and we were still up and down. And Kai Havertz was gelling, Timo Werner was gelling. You know, these players were still getting their chemistry. Tottenham had a lot of injuries that game, I remember, but they just sat back and we pummeled them for a half, and then you know, the tables turned as they do in football when you don't take your chances and you're only 1-0 up, as we saw against Rennes. So now it's very different because we come into this game off the back of 6 wins in a row. I think we've conceded 2 goals in that time. I think
Yep.
we've scored something like 16 in that time, something like that. And we're at home. We're at the Bridge. Tottenham hate the Bridge. It is a graveyard for them. And we've got the added impetus of them being ahead of us. And that's so offensive. You know, how dare they be top of the table? Like this just shouldn't happen.
Yeah,
You know, the word Spursy exists for a reason. We call them bottle jobs for a reason. And we're about to show them that on Sunday. It's honestly, we go into this game buzzing, pumped up, on form. But so do Tottenham. They go into this game buzzing, pumped up, on form. And I've got to say, Jose has got a bone to pick with Frank. So I don't think he cares about the fact that they knocked us out on penalties in the other game because we realistically drew that 1-1 and they scored a last-minute goal. He's gunning for us from last season when we absolutely battered them in 2 games. Absolutely battered them. Tactically, on the pitch, player for player, battered. They were lucky to get an own goal in the 2 games, you know, and that was at the end of the second game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is going to be blood. This is Battle of the Bridge Part 2.
Without the fans.
Are we going to see the same amount of intensity?
I
Yes,
would,
100%.
I'd argue even more with like the fact that it's Tottenham are in first. I think Tottenham are in first place right now, and that just can't happen. It's not allowed. So by winning the game, I think we'd overtake them and we'd knock them off first, even if they're not first by the time we play them. Yeah, it's. I expect. I think
I think it's
if
an
you see,
unwritten rule.
yeah, if you see some of the interviews from after the Rennes game, I think Mount mentioned like how the how Lampard is like he's been stressing how big the Tottenham game is, and I think it was the same last year where Lampard he just gets it. He absolutely gets how like mega a game of Spurs is, and also I like how Jan mentioned like especially with last year with the Lampard. I think Jose hasn't beaten Lampard yet, other than in the League Cup on pens, so he'll still be bathing with blood. It's still he hasn't beaten Lampard in the Premier League yet. So yeah, I definitely expect Tottenham to be up for it, but I also expect Chelsea to be equally as buzzing and pumped for it. So that's why I'm so looking forward to it. It's just going to be such a charged spectacle, I think.
Yeah, I think everyone shows up for these type of games. I think the players would be buzzing. Managers, of course, Frank Lampard, he's got a point to prove. I think we always a lot of times rival fans always say, "Hey, Frank Lampard doesn't have a good record against top six teams," and then I look at Tottenham and I'm like, they're in the bottom of that top six. They barely made it to Europa League, so I would consider them as a top seven or a top eight team, meaning we can beat them. If someone says our record against the top six is not good enough. But yeah, I think let's get into the lineups and who we expect to play. But before we do that, let me just have a recap and let me just say let me just convey what Frank Lampard said yesterday. So Pulisic is back. He does seem to be fit, but speculation is that he won't be played. He won't start. He might come on towards the end, depending on whether we need him or we don't need him. Kai Havertz is fully fit, so we're expecting him to start as well, who should be back in the team. Um, Surprisingly, I thought Chilwell would have been rested for the Rennes game, so that because he had some back problems, but I guess he's fine with it as well, and he's been reported to be fit for that game as well. So the rest of the squad is ready as well. Let's start with the goalkeeper. I think this is one of the difficult tasks. Who have you got, Jam?
Our goalkeeper, 100%. There's only one guy. It's Eddie Mendy. Come on now.
Yeah, I think we can all say the same. Amart included. Yeah, we can all say it. It's got to be. There's no one else. It's just. To be fair, it's. I think his effect is also. I mean, there's also Thiago Silva coming into the team, but it's between the both of them. The effect defensively they've had on this team it's ridiculous, and it's pretty much unheard of. I don't think I've ever seen a defense be changed be changed so much by two players. Plus, I think the changing. Sorry, they have. I mean, Lampard has said they have worked on things since the start of the season, and plus with the addition of Anthony Barry as well from Wigan. So it's not just them two, but yeah, they're. Yeah, I don't. No, I'm gonna cut it with that. Mendy, you're just amazing. Love you. Just yeah.
You don't want to jinx it.
I don't want to jinx it, but to be fair, I've taken. So 2 weeks ago, I took Mendy out of my fantasy team. But sorry, I put him back in. I put him in because I thought, well, he's got 4 clean sheets in a row. What's the worst can happen? And then we concede against Sheffield, and then we score 4. They're like, oh well, we can still keep him in, but yeah, I've taken him out now, so we're getting the clean sheet anyway. It's fine. It's confirmed already.
I think it's going to be Mendy in goal for me as well. I think Amart's just lost connection, but I think we can continue.
Wait, can you guys hear me?
The back four, I think we're going to go with the unchanged one as well. I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to say Chilwell and James on the right back, left backs, and then Zuma and Thiago Silva. I think there's no other option. Okay, so the fullbacks for the game. I think Amart, you can start on this one.
Okay, yeah, with the fullbacks, I think we'll go with the regular pair with Chilwell on the left and then with James on the right. I think they are the best options that we have now. Um, it's crazy because I think with Alonso always, even when he has a bad performance, always he has a very good performance against Spurs for some reason. So, but considering how good Chilwell is, we definitely can't drop Chilwell just because Alonso scores for Spurs against Spurs.
And then your centre backs as well.
And how would you line up for the centre backs?
Thiago Silva and Zuma, of course. No other option.
Yeah, there's no question.
I think we're all going to go with the same one, aren't we?
Are we not gonna? Nah, we're gonna change the defense.
Jam, you've got any interruptions on there?
No. That's the team.
Yeah. Why deviate? We can't change. We just kept like 6 clean sheets in a row or something. We can't, or before the Rennes game, and excluding the Sheffield game. So it's what two goals conceded, 18 scored in the past 6 or 7. So yeah, there's no way we've been imagine like for the past couple of months we were all crying out for keeping the same back line, and finally we have it, and it feels so good to be able to field the same defense each week and not be worried.
Yeah, 100%. It's brilliant. I mean, you think back to last season, and we'd always be sweating before a game. We'd be sweating before Sheffield United at home. We'd be sweating with Norwich away. Bournemouth. Don't even get me started on the Super Cherries, man. Jesus. But we're not there anymore. We're back now. We've got that fear factor, and teams come up and play us and look at Thiago Silva and just go, "Man, this guy looks about twice the size he actually is." Zuma next to him looks even bigger than Thiago Silva. You look at the right back, you think Reece James is the strongest man known on this earth right now. And then you've got Ben Chilwell that's absolutely confident and probably smiling at you because he's thinking, I'm going to nutmeg you or something. There's a good balance of arrogance and confidence flowing from that back line now. And behind that, Eddie Mendy, safe hands, a smile that could kill you. He's absolutely brilliant. I'm
Speaking
buzzing,
of
man.
Bournemouth,
Back to the
they're
good old
second in
days.
the championship now, so we only have a year, but we'll be ready for them.
Yeah, I think
when they come back, we'll be ready. We're not. Yeah, there's no more magic happening with them next year. Looking forward to it.
Oh dear. Well,
Yeah,
that means we have to
big-
win the title this
big
year,
brain
doesn't it?
play right here. We got to win it this year. Oh man.
I think adding on to your guys' point and everything, I fully agree. Like I feel like going into these type of games last season, I would have been trembling. We're sat here where we're slandering Spurs and we're saying stuff about Spurs, and that's because we're so confident in our defense now.
Mhm.
Last year, I would have guessed that we would have been talking about Kepa for like an hour, and then the rest of the hour would be how the defense needs to shape up, because no one would really care about the attack at this point, because as long as we've got the defense right, we can at least get a draw away, against Tottenham. But yeah, it feels nice to know that we've got a solid back four that start every game, and then a keeper behind them who can save anything at this point. I'm pretty sure he can save anything. So put him to the test, Tottenham. You won't get through. And the only people that will get through is the front three. Chelsea. Who have we got there before we get into the midfield? I don't know why I did that, but yeah.
Mats, do you want to take us through your front three?
Yeah. The midfield or the front three? Which one?
The front first. Mohammed's taken us on a nice adventure. Skip to where the real importance is.
Okay. I think I was saying this with you before we started the recording. I think if Pulisic is fit, I have a feeling that Lampard might start him because he's been training, and I don't think he will start from the bench against Spurs. He might probably start. So if I wish he starts. So for my front three, I'll go with Pulisic on the left, and the magician on the right, and then Werner in the middle. Hopefully he would have he would have enough rest to put away all the chances he gets. I don't want to see him missing chances like he did against Rennes and against Newcastle. I'm hoping that he takes all his chances, and I think he's met Tottenham twice and he scored against them twice or both times. So hopefully he can make it a third, and then this time probably get a hat trick or something.
Okay, that seems pretty reasonable. Jam, who have you got up there?
Unfortunately, Amart, my friend, we're
Yeah,
going to have to disagree a
That's
little
not
bit
allowed on the CFCTALK.
here.
no problem.
Ooh.
I'll explain why. But I've got to give these guys a WWE style entrance, so forgive me in advance, right? We've got Hakim Houdini, the Moroccan magician, on the right wing. My man is going to
I
get
love
a
his
goal.
names.
Yeah.
I love these names.
Then on the left wing, it's going to be Timo Werner, Dash from the Incredibles, man. That guy, he's going to run through Eric Dyer and get that fridge spinning like it's got wheels, mate. Trust me. Eric Dyer's finished, mate. He knows it as well. Timo Werner, by the way, look. I'll come back to it. Up front, we've got Tammy Abraham, Mr. Abraham. We've got to keep it as it has been. Now, why I say that? Let's start with Pulisic first. I had a look the other day at his a breakdown of his injury record on Transfer Market, and the amount of soft tissue injuries he gets, it is quite worrying. Now, why this is a problem now is because actually I think he needs to have extended rehab. So just because he's fit doesn't mean he's ready to start or even play. I think he'll be on the bench, and if Lampard can get away without playing him, he won't play him. If I'm completely honest, he really needs to prove himself that he is fit. He is our best left winger, don't get me wrong, but he needs to work his way back into the team and prove that he's fit and not disrupt something that's worked and got us 6 wins in a row. That's how I see it. Now, Timo, it's a shame he couldn't get a rest against Rennes. Now, the reason I think that is because if you listen back, Lampard was asking Cho before Cho came off, you're right, Cho, you're right, Cho. He got a little knock or was knackered. That's why he had to come off, and that's why Timo had to stay on. Now, I think Timo's suffering a little bit from mental fatigue. So the effects of that are simple chances. You switch off a little bit and you miss them. So I wouldn't take it out on him too much, but I'd actually argue that he's always still getting into these positions to create these chances, and he's effectively got 2 assists in the last 2 games anyway. He's still in there. So I would still play him, and I think he's going to bag against Tottenham and just, go, well, I'm back. He's quite pissed off, isn't he? So, that's my front three anyway.
Yeah, it's
Alex,
oh,
who are you going to
it's
side?
tough. I mean, if we weren't playing against Tottenham, I probably would have maybe rested Timo because there's been a past couple of games or 2 games. Yeah, he's missed quite a few chances, but it's Tottenham. He's 2-2 again. Or no, wait, no, I think maybe 2 goals in 3 because he played them twice in the Champions League. Actually, I can't remember. Maybe he did score in both games against Tottenham in the Champions League for yeah. So he's 3-3. He's 3-3 against Spurs. In my books, that's an automatic start already.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I would play him because like Jam says, he's getting into the great positions. And to be fair, he could have won the game. Like before Giroud scored, Ziyech kind of put him through. But he got into that position. So yeah, I start Timo. Although it saddens me that we can't. I do kind of want to see Hudson-Odoi more, but I get it for the whole defensive side. I think he's maybe a bit. It's not as strong. It's not very. Or yeah, I don't know. There just seems to be like this kind of aura that Hudson-Odoi's defense needs to work on his defensive side of his game, and hence that's why he's not really starting because attacking wise, he's got 2 Champions League goals already. So yeah, Tammy's been playing great. So yeah, it has to be Tammy, and then Ziyech came on. That's the thing we didn't really talk about in the Rennes game, but from the Rennes game. But Ziyech came on, and pretty much we had so much. Wait, no, Ziyech did come on, or did he start? I can't believe I'm asking you this.
Yes.
He did, yeah, he came
No,
on.
he
Yeah,
did.
he came on,
Yeah, he came
and
on.
we
He
created
came on.
loads of
He came
chances in
on.
the last couple of minutes of the game, and he was just So yeah, Ziyech had to start.
Yeah, I think. Sorry to cut you, but I think I saw a stat on Scorecard or something saying that he came on. He had more chances. He
Jeez,
created more chances than anybody on the pitch, even when after
that's
playing like
ridiculous.
12 minutes or
And
30
yeah,
minutes or so.
that's why you
So
started this way. I mean, of course, Ziyech has
yeah,
to play. He's our best right winger. He's the right winger. So yeah, we play him absolutely. So yeah, I think that's it.
I think I'm going to go with the same one. I think it's too early to say Pulisic is ready. I'm going to go with the same explanation Jam and say I think I'd rather have Pulisic sit this one out and have him for the rest of the season than him pick up another injury in this game. We've been hearing from all the way from the start of this season that Pulisic's going to come. Pulisic's going to come. He came for a few weeks and then he's out again. I don't want that to happen again. I think we can rest him out for this one. As much as Timo Werner deserves a rest, but we might have to play him again. But yeah, of course, between the Rennes game and the Tottenham game, there's like a 4-day gap, and so that should help him out a little bit as well. And so yeah, for me, it would have to be, I think, Ziyech, Timo Werner, and Tammy Abraham in the center. I think he's been incredible for Chelsea. All the critics said he won't get enough game time, and how Giroud will play instead of him, and Tammy Abraham will probably have to go out or something. But he's proven them all wrong. He's been playing so well, and in hindsight, the injuries have helped him to get into this rhythm of scoring and playing the way he does. And I mean, unfortunately or fortunately, he's been putting up these performances due to those injuries. But yeah, anyways, as long as we win, as long as he scores, as long as he's good, then we're fine with it. And now let's go back to the midfield that I skipped before, and I think the reason I skipped it is because I think we're going to get into a debate on this, and we've got so many options in there. I'm going to get my options out. I'm going to say Mount, Havertz, and Kante. Um, Before we go into anything, now that I think of it, we might just go for the same one. But we've got Kovacic and Jorginho as well. So who have you got on your starting midfielders, Jam?
I'm going to. I mean, this is tough. Yeah, most of the time I'm talking with my chest. This one, I feel like a little boy again. Kante, lone DM. Mason Mount as a number 8. And Kovacic. Now, why I'm going to go Kovacic is Kai hasn't played that much. Of course he hasn't. He only came on off the bench in the last game. I don't think that's enough to warrant a starting place yet. Now, I know he tested positive for COVID. It obviously didn't seem to have too much of an effect on him, and he had to self-isolate for 2 weeks. Then he has to build his fitness up. That's the only thing I'm slightly worried about. I want for him to come off the bench and make a difference, I think, in this game if he's needed. Um, Similar-ish to the Pulisic reason I gave. I know he's got quality. We could really do with it, but I feel like Kovacic would be a little bit more combative defensively as well. So actually, it might make more sense tactically. Yeah, so I'll go with those 3: Kante, Mount, and Kovacic.
That's quite interesting. Alex?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah, initially I was thinking the Mount Havertz, Kante, but Kovacic. Yeah, it's like Havertz hasn't been. I mean, he's only had that one bench appearance, and this game is so huge that I do feel that we'll need Kovacic's energy, and I do think Kovacic is actually playing really well past couple of weeks, including the international break. So his confidence is good. So I would start him, but absolutely bring on Pulisic, bring on Havertz when you can. Yeah, I'm definitely expecting those guys to make a substitute appearance, but yeah, Havertz maybe is probably not at the level. He's not ready to start this game when this game is so huge. It's the biggest game of the season so far, and yeah, it's a bridge too far, I think. And Kovacic is the safe bet for now. So yeah, and then the Mount and Kante pick themselves. So that's it for me.
Yeah, quite interesting as well.
And
Amart?
Yeah. I think this is the reason why sometimes I like going last on these things because you guys have good um reasons why you select your players, and it just makes me second guess myself sometimes. But again, I think I might be on the how to say it, the other side of this because I think Havertz would be the better option to start if instead instead of Kovacic. Kovacic has been great, all right. I think he has, but I think this is a game where we need to be scoring more goals, and I think Havertz, even though he's not great defensively, I think he's the best person to actually unlock like many of those goals, coupled with Ziyech. So I think we just have to put our best players on the pitch. I know you guys make good points. As in, like he hasn't played a lot, and that is very very true. He hasn't played a lot, but I think him and the other players around him also understand the seriousness um with this game because the thing is, if Spurs win, they extend their lead to 5 points. They extend their lead over us to 5 points. If we win, we go over them 1 point. So it's 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 a it's a it's a very important game that we have to win. We have to win it. So I think whoever plays would would play um at their best, even though they haven't had some games to play or something. But I think for me, I'll go with Havertz and then Kanti as a lone DM and then Mount as a number 8. So that these three will be in my midfield.
Yeah, I think overall we've all gone for like you know a strong team. I would say a team that is ready to beat Tottenham, a team that is hungry to get that spot. Of course, that depends on whether Liverpool win against Brighton or not, and the way the Premier League's been going right now, and how Liverpool played against Atlanta and they lost 2-0. Um, which can we have a moment to laugh at Liverpool on how they thought they could Chelsea's record of home wins?
Yeah, I think that has already been broken. I think right now the home wins that they have, the record that they have is a Premier League one, but I think they've already lost this season at home. Um, was it this season or last season? I think one of the seasons somebody beat them at home. I think it
No,
was
because I think the record that I remember was 64 games unbeaten in all
no, I
competitions,
think that is in the
and that
Premier
was
League.
across all
I think that's
competitions.
that's yeah,
That's
that's in the Premier League.
that is
Yeah,
in the
just
Premier
Premier
League,
League.
and they haven't. Yeah, and Chelsea's is the 80.
Yeah,
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 Chelsea have the record in
yeah.
86 Premier League games at home unbeaten, and Liverpool haven't. They're still on the way to do it, but they still not.
Yeah,
But that's the thing.
we have to.
We've got to stop them.
Oh, okay, so I've
Yeah,
got my facts
because
wrong.
because I
Okay.
remember last season, Atletico
It's right.
Madrid
It's
beat
right.
them at home. I think Atletico Madrid ended the long streak they had in all competitions, so it became just in the Premier League now. So yeah, but it's always happy to. I'm always happy to see them lose. I saw the results and I was even shocked, but they've had some injuries and yeah, it's that what does it mean? Does it mean they haven't qualified yet?
Yeah, that actually puts them in a lot
Yeah.
of trouble, you know. A lot of trouble. I mean, I had a look at it, and they still have to play Ajax, and then obviously they got that dead rubber game against whoever it is, Midtjylland. Yeah, they'll probably win that 10-0. But if Ajax can get Ajax have to win actually. Okay, if
Yeah.
Ajax win, then Liverpool could be out. Yeah, I'm dreaming. Okay, they're not in trouble.
Okay,
I'll take
then
that back.
then
It's just not ideal.
We can dream. We can dream. I mean, to be fair, yeah, it's 2 games left. Liverpool have to play. If the Liverpool do lose, it's because they got to play Midtjylland, isn't it?
Yeah.
So they're going to get 3 points. So they'll be on 12. The other two are on 7. So even if they win both, then they'll only be on. Yeah, I think Liverpool have Liverpool. I think it's impossible for Liverpool to not have qualified. Wait, but Chelsea were the first team to qualify, or apparently.
yeah,
So
I think it's
because
because
all
of
the games
games
were
played
played.
now.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's because of today. So even though Liverpool lost, they're still
That's so annoying, man.
qualified
Well, no,
somehow.
they haven't actually qualified technically because
Okay.
we're assuming that they're going to get the 3 points. So they have, but they
Oh,
haven't. If you know what I mean.
yeah.
Mate, if Midtjylland turn up and just get a
Yeah, it's
pesky
all down
0-0,
to
you
them.
know.
Yeah, zero. It's 2 goals scored, 11 against, goal difference -9. All 4 games lost. But now we trust you. We trust you, Midland. We'll be the Midland Talk podcast just for one day
100%.
if they can. Yeah,
We can learn them Werner for a game.
do it. Let's do it. They're not. Yeah, they're a Danish team, I think, aren't? Or
Yeah, they are Danish.
yeah. So yeah, it's only across the channel. Let's just loan them out.
I just like
Dyed Timo's
I
hair
just like how
brown or
little we
something.
think of Tottenham that we started talking about Liverpool.
Yeah. I think it's just Liverpool losing in the Champions League. Whenever Liverpool lose, especially at home, it's like Yeah,
Yeah, do you know what it
Right.
is? The Liverpool fans, I mean, I'm sure all fan bases have had this, but Liverpool fans now, after 30 years, have suddenly thought
Yeah,
they're so entitled,
very
they've become
annoying.
massive bigots. And I know we're kind of being like that
yeah,
with Tottenham, but that's Tottenham.
yeah.
It's so annoying. So when they get humbled, that 7-2 against Villa,
Man,
I was dancing.
Yeah.
I think we were all
No
I think
dancing.
excuses.
Yeah, especially when we beat City. So when we beat City at the Bridge in restart to win, or not really to win, but you know what I mean, to win the league for Liverpool. And then there was nothing after the game about Chelsea, about
yeah.
putting in a fantastic performance, about Ross Barkley putting in a great defense performance. Nothing on this. Nah, just straight 90
Even in
minutes of
that game,
Liverpool winning,
even that game
nothing on
against
Chelsea.
City,
So yeah,
they spoke more about Liverpool than even Chelsea in the game. So I think
yes,
the media is
yeah,
very
Oh,
very
yeah.
that
biased
really, yeah,
towards
grinding
Liverpool.
gears.
It has always been like that. Even when they were losing and they weren't winning anything, the media was still they were still the media darlings
Mhm.
and all that. So we
Yep. And that's why I don't like Spurs too.
yeah
And that's yeah. To be fair, I mean, have, having Frank Lampard, a guy who's worked for the media, or he's got lots of mates in it. I do expect him to fall on the kinder side of it, but it's still nothing compared to what Spurs, especially like Spurs of the past 6 years. Like you said, Jam, ever since Harry Kane has come into that team, they've just kind of become the almost the embodiment of the well, not really the embodiment of
No,
the
you're
England
right.
team,
You're
but
very right. You're very right.
yeah,
Harry
yeah,
Kane, Deli Ali,
yeah.
Harry Winks. I mean, that makes me cringe. Um,
Oh man.
Eric Dyer. I mean,
yeah.
who else have I missed?
Oh man.
That's it, isn't it? Was there another player?
There
Oh
was
yeah.
Walker Peters, but now he's
I'm
Southampton,
sure
so
there was even one
yeah.
more. Oh, they used to love the Belgian barrier. That was it. Alderweireld and Vertonghen at the back. They used to say they're the best centre backs in the league. No, you're not. What have you won?
Yeah.
Lloris, the guy that will literally chuck the ball into his own net every other game. Come on. So
And
Jurier.
yeah, and Kung Fu kick on
This is no,
Alonso.
but you know what? I don't blame Lloris for that.
Some
That's
more good
Alonso's.
news for
That's
Chelsea.
Alonso's juju, man. That's Alonso's juju. That's nothing
Yeah,
else but Alonso.
Sky
yeah.
Sports. I think. Sorry, guys, to interrupt, but
Oh, that's good.
this is going to be quite relevant. But
Right.
Sky Sports has just tweeted that Toby Alderweireld is out for Tottenham due to injury, and Matt Doherty is
Oh,
back at
well.
training.
All right.
Yeah,
Well, that's bad for them. Team. Oh right, we're definitely starting Timo now. Start. Absolutely got to start
So
him there. Nah, he really
they
was, but
they are
yeah,
literally
it's a boost.
playing. They're playing. So that's Eric Dyer centre back with Davinson Sanchez. Then now I don't know if you guys know expressions oozing. He's probably the funniest content creator out there. He's a Spurs fan, and even he calls Davinson Sanchez the Colombian PS4 because he always goes on standby and switches off. So we're definitely getting something out of this, mate. I'm telling you that.
Love that. That is, it's quite, yeah. I mean, you don't want to
No, no,
celebrate a
no, no.
player's
Of
injury,
course.
but yeah, it's a good. It's at the end of the day, I'm so excited for it because just there's so much. Both teams will want this so bad, and it's like, yeah, it's gonna
yeah.
be a
And
big one.
I think the best way to put it is, sorry Tottenham, we don't feel sorry for you, but sorry Toby Alderweireld, we feel sorry for you.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with that.
yeah,
100%. Get well soon after the Chelsea game, of course. But it is what it
yeah,
is.
definitely put it like that.
Respect in other words. A bit of respect to him.
Yeah, yeah, respect, of course. I just noticed that Rennes are now bottom of our Champions League group somehow, even though so yeah, Krasnodar are above them, even though
I
they
would guess was
have
that because of a
worse goal
draw?
difference, or maybe it's just the BBC. Maybe it's just the BBC Sport app just not being.
Yeah,
Just,
I've got
yeah,
No,
maybe a
because it's
Krasnodar.
glitch.
on Google
Or
as well, and it's on.
yeah,
Oh, because they
that's
they
weird.
drew 1-1 away.
But they've dropped. But they
Yeah,
just drew
because
against each other.
it's an away game.
Are they
So
using
it's
head?
head to head.
Oh,
Yes, they're using head to head. They're using head to head.
yeah. and it's 1-1 away. Jeez, that's not unfair. I mean, like if you compare our games against Rennes and against Krasnodar, chalk and cheese almost. It's like Krasnodar would. I mean, yeah, it was a bit too easy, but Rennes really have given us a challenge over both games. Like in the first game, we didn't really win. We wouldn't have won really if it. Well, I mean, you could say we could have, but we did get away with the Reds and the pen, and then the away game was last minute. So they're too good of a team.
I think Rennes are capable of taking points off Sevilla. You know.
Yeah.
If they play like that, yeah, that will be a good one to watch. They might do the job for us.
Yeah. And then it might all come to, and if they don't, it'll all come down to that last grudge, the last match, Chelsea Sevilla, to decide who finishes first.
Unfortunately, that's actually next week.
Oh, right.
Yeah, the order's a bit messed up.
Yeah. Oh well, even a bit sooner.
Yeah.
And then at least
we'll know our fate by then.
Yeah. Sweet. But yeah.
I think that covers everything.
I just love the turn that the podcast took. We're trying our best to bring it back to Tottenham, but it just started moving. I just loved it.
Yeah, I just do.
No, I've been silent because I've just received news, and I think it's on our Discord server. John Terry has just posted a story on his Instagram. I think Chelsea's old kit man has sadly passed away today. Malcolm, not entirely sure.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so I've just had a read about that. So I'm just trying to find some information on that, which is quite. It's nowhere to be found, and as much as we pay respect to Maradona, we paid respect to Maradona at the start of the podcast. It's also important that we pay respect to people like Malcolm, who work behind the scenes and set everything up for the players the way they want and make sure everything's intact before they step on to get the best performance out of them.
Yeah. I love how clubs, they have these people who work at the club for 30, 40 years, and it's like, these guys are legends in their own right. Then maybe not football player legends, but in terms of working for the club and the service to the club, it's their own different kind of legend in a way, to me.
Yeah, that's a great point. I mean, this is going beyond sports now, beyond just sports teams, but even your office teams, companies. You have these people that are almost there, and they play a big part in the chemistry of the environment. And it generally tends to be these people that may have been there a little bit longer or a little bit older that act as the sort of the kind of senior heads, if you like, just because they've been there for long. And everyone respects them. They're like the elders kind of thing. And it's really sad when these kind of things happen. Rest in peace, Malcolm.
Yeah, definitely. Peace, Malcolm.
Yeah, I mean, wow, this has been such a twisty and turny day. First Diego Maradona, and then now this. Hopefully, we can honor him on the in the game against Spurs.
And from AFTV.
Yeah.
Yep, also that as well. As much as this is the right point to say. We talk about us hating Tottenham and Arsenal and all that, but when it boils down to stuff like this, you put aside a lot of those things, and you as a football community, you come together and you don't think about whether it's your rival or whether it's someone you hate, because this is such a heavy news to handle at times, and
I think there's always still respect. There's always like, no matter, I mean, obviously, yes, we all have the common dislike and not a hatred, but we really don't like Tottenham. But you always need the respect there, and I think I still like to think that's the case.
Yep. On that note, I think that sums up the whole podcast. A few moments where no one was about, but it's life. Going through a lot, people. We're just here trying to make a change, and hopefully, football is there for people need it, who need time away from life in general, who need time to switch off. So it's always great to discuss Chelsea and Premier League, and especially with people like Jam. Um, Great work, Jam, with SW6. I have to commend you on that.
Oh yeah, no, thanks very much. All I'll say is, just obviously, if you can, if you love Chelsea and you love seeing some creative content, we try and be a little bit different on the, on social media platforms. So, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And, we've got some really exciting things happening in the next month. So keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, I think I'm not going to give away too
Well,
much.
I don't actually.
But I've just
So
I've heard quite a lot of news. There's a lot happening. Like when I sometimes talk about CFCTALK and I say there's a big things happening. Like what's happening at SW6 right now is insane. Like there's wow,
It's big. And you only know half of
lost for
it, mate.
words.
You only know half of it, trust me.
Oh, so I thought I had some inside information, and I think there's even more than that.
There is more, but you know half of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
classified.
I don't want to have to kill you guys.
Yeah, they got blue tape. They don't have black tape. They got blue tape. They kind of just they have all these paperwork things and just put over the names. They
Yeah.
have this blue highlighter. And then they give it to Mohammed, and then that's what he works on. No.
I've got to dig deeper to find more information.
They receive their messages, Mission Impossible style. Just after that, it will self-destruct, so nobody else will see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
No, it's been great working at SW6. It's a great it's a great team, the people, everyone all around. No at all.
Can I just bring up a point just to end it on?
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
Sorry about this, but it's kind of taking things back to Tottenham again.
Nice.
And I just thought
We
I'd go
don't
on their
mind.
fixtures because I'm thinking, who have these guys actually played, right? So here we go.
Mm-hmm.
So this Thursday, by the way, they play tomorrow because they're Europa League fodder. That's Ludo Goretz at home, so they'll probably change it up for our game. Then they've got LASK away next Thursday, followed by Arsenal at home, followed by Antwerp at home. We know what Antwerp did to them last time. Then Crystal Palace away, Liverpool away, Leicester at home, Stoke away in the EFL Cup, Wolves away.
Wow.
So let me just read those tough games again. Palace away, Liverpool away, Leicester at home, Wolves away. Whoops.
Jeez.
They have some tough opposition.
Spursy.
Yeah. We're just gonna start this little snowball. It's gonna be it's a snowball effect, and we're gonna start it.
Yeah.
We all know what's gonna happen. We all know that the Spursy memes. They're every year.
Mm-hmm.
This year is no different. It's gonna happen. Starting now.
As much as they want to believe that
But-
Jose will win something for them, I don't think it will happen.
Yeah.
No, it's peak, mate. That's what it is. That's what will happen. It's peak.
It is the history of the Tottenham. Oh man, please edit that out.
No, this is gonna be turned into
you might as well just start that. Start the pod with that.
It was a fun recording. Thank you, Ram. Ram? What? Jam.
Ram?
Yeah, I think
if you're replacing the J with a W, I'll take that. If that was a wham, yeah.
It was a ram. It was WRAM, but the R is silent. So the W is silent. It's just ram. But it's a W at the start.
I'll take that.
Oh man, this is going well.
Sorry about that, but thank you for coming on, Jam. Last minute. Appreciate the commitment to this podcast.
No, it's my pleasure. It's always fun to be on. I mean, I say always. This is my second time on, but last time was really fun. Yeah, love what you guys do. Love you three as well. I think you do a great job. So, yeah, I'm not doing anything tonight, so Why not? Why not have some fun, eh?
Hey, appreciate the comments, man. It's with that, I think we'll now get you on for a third time.
Absolutely. I'm always open to it, especially if it's dismantling Tottenham. I'll
Yeah,
take that.
Yeah.
you become a
Next on the
series
list will be Man United.
regular.
Yeah, if you need slander, bring me on, man. Man United, Tottenham,
That is,
Liverpool, I'm there. Arsenal, Arsenal, yeah, they're probably up there with Tottenham as being the funniest ones to dismantle. But yeah, no, always happy to be on, lads. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, same.
Great having you again. Sorry, Mark, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying that it's a pleasure to also have him on anytime, any place.
Nice one, thank you.
Well, guys, that's all for tonight. A lot of ups and downs, but yeah, hopefully things do end up getting better. If you guys are listening to this on YouTube, I request everyone to please hit the subscribe button. It really means a lot to us. It really does motivate us to continue to create firstly the podcast, and make sure to hit the like button, because it really does tell YouTube to recommend our podcast to other viewers and other Chelsea fans, and that's the best way to grow. And before we end this podcast, we have to announce something, and this is a partnership announcement between CFC Talk podcast and the Chelsea FC Discord server. If you head over to the description below, and you can click the link in there, and you will be redirected to a Discord page where you can get into a Chelsea server, where you can talk to people from all around the world about Chelsea, about football, about games, anything you prefer. There's specific channels for everything, even up to Pokemon. Like if you're a Pokemon fan, you can join. Um, we'll be promoting that the year we were partnered with him. Our podcast is also on there, so if you're someone from the server, make sure to interact with our links, our votings for man of the match. For we what we sometimes do is we get guests on from there. We just put out a post, and whoever is the first one to reply to it, we just get them on the podcast and we use them. And we have him on. So if you want to get a chance to come on the podcast, make sure to join the server. Make sure to check them out as well. And on that note, that's all for tonight, and we'll see you next time.